Hey guys, my name's Mannequin and welcome back to Remixing from Scratch. Actually, this is the first episode, so it'd kind of be welcome to Remixing from Scratch Season 2. So, if you haven't checked out my previous season, I'm going to be doing something similar to that, but at the same time, I'm going to be doing some things drastically different from that previous season. So, as you could probably guess, the reason I have this up is because this is going to be the track that I am remixing. Danny Darko featuring Julian Kelland, and the track is Hurricane. I already have the stems downloaded, so that's going to save me some time here, but otherwise you just go down and download it, there. So I'll put a link to this in the video here, or the description here, so that you could go to this remix competition and just download the stems for yourself if you're interested. It might close and they might delete the stems, in which case it was their decision to delete them. So unfortunately, I cannot give you the stems because it's their property and I cannot give that to you. So anyway, if you catch it while it's still available, great, and you could do your own remix and kind of, while you're learning from this, and or just take some ideas that I did and do your own remix. So anyway, without further ado, let's get into this project. I did tell some other people that I was going to switch styles from last time, because last time I kind of did a style that I am not used to. So we are going to be doing something that I am more used to by way of genre, and we're going to be doing a trance track. Now, the hard part about this track, actually, let me show you here. If you notice, just create a software instrument and close all this up so we can kind of see what's going on. Okay. Anyway, if you notice, the original vocal is actually at 115 beats per minute, which is far from the BPM of trance. It's like you wouldn't even think about doing trance at that speed. It's just way too slow. So I'm gonna actually have to use flex time on this, but I did actually test this before I started recording here to make sure it would sound okay, and it actually sounds rather good with the flex time, so I don't need to worry too much about that. Okay, without further ado, we have the project open here, and I am going to get the vocal stems. What's kind of nice is there is two vocals here. One is the dry version, and one is the wet version. This one, I'll show you, has reverb and delay, and this one doesn't have anything. With me. And I'll be honest, I really like that they did that. So I'm actually going to go into this project first, save it as Hurricane Mannequin Remix, so it properly copies all the folders to the project, and then I'll just save that there, back, and then I could drag this in here, and everything should be good. We can import the tempo information. Markers. You know what? I'm gonna pass on the markers. So I'm importing the tempo information just so that it gets lined up and we actually have everything on the right tempo. And I might need to line things up later, but as it is, I think we'll actually be okay. So I think we'll be fine by way of the vocals. We don't have to reline anything up. I don't know. We'll see. But anyway, we're at 115 now. So now that I'm at 115, I can turn on flex time. This is a really cool feature that Logic has. I want monophonic since it's just a voice. And then I could enable flex time here, and it would normally show that it's processing it, but since I already processed it before, it has a cache file somewhere that that it just jumped to, and it has that now. So I'm going to save this project now, just for reasons, and then I could pull up the BPM to 140, which is the speed that trance is usually around. Sometimes it's 138, sometimes it's like always 100, or sometimes it's around like 100 and I don't know 28. But anyway, it's typically at 138, 140ish. So I'm just gonna stick it at 140 just because that's what I feel like. I don't know if 138 is more standard trance, but I'm just gonna go with 140 for this one. And then if you play it back, actually, let me set this back to 115. 115, our track sounds like this. Don't be shy, baby. If you wanna be with me. And then at 140, it sounds like this. Don't be shy, baby. If you wanna be with me. So you'll notice the tone of the voice does change significantly when we add flex time. Although at the same time, it actually doesn't sound bad. It sounds different, but it doesn't sound like terrible. I could fix this with a little bit of distortion and EQ just to kind of get a little more of the crispy high end back. I'm going to slap on a linear phase EQ for now. I'm not going to do anything with it quite yet just because I don't have anything else to do in this track to match it up with. And then I'm going to do some quick reverb and delay. Actually, we'll start with the delay, stereo delay, and then I'm just going to go pull that over to 75 so we have a bit longer of a delay. It sounds kind of like this. Don't be shy, baby. And then I'm going to turn these down considerably. So I might be going a little fast here, but you could kind of, actually, you know, I'm going to turn this down all the way to 15. Whoops, that's not what I wanted. Okay, and then I'm going to actually pull up the cuts here. And if you haven't seen my video on delays, then you'll want to check that out because it kind of talks about what I'm doing here. I'm just kind of plowing through this because I'm trying to layer on some basic effects for the vocals without having to use the wet one that we have, because I don't want to use the pre-processed stuff. I want to create my own processing stuff, and I'll fix it later. But it's really hard to work with dry vocals to begin with. So I'm just adding some stuff on here. I think this will sound okay. Don't be shy, baby, if you wanna be with me. Okay, sweet. So then I'm going to throw on a reverb, and Space Designer is my favorite, and then I'm going to go to my Trance preset, which you've probably seen me use before, and it's available in the project of my last season of Remixing from Scratch. And then the thing about this reverb preset is it's turned up way too high, so I'm going to turn it down here, and then we can listen again. Don't be shy, baby, if you want to be with me, so tell me you're in this. Okay, and I'm going to do a quick boost to the EQ, and I'm going to put it right around here just to give us some air. I want to feel your kiss. I want you to show me everything, how it could be. Baby, you need this. Yeah, widen this out a bit. I want to feel your lips. Can you feel it? Do you know? That sounds nice. This will work really well for a trance track. Okay. So the first thing that I'm gonna actually look at right now is the bass line, because I want to kind of try to lay out the bass line first, and then I'll choose my kick. Partially because I have an idea for a bass line, something I might do, and partially because I don't know what kick I'm looking for right now quite yet. So the kick is actually really important for trance because I'll show you right now. By way of trance, there's two main types of kicks that you can kind of go for. Let's see if I can find. Okay, so I honestly don't know what any of these are off the top of my head, so I'm gonna have to kind of cycle through them, and I'll show you, see if I can find some here. I'm gonna turn that back up actually. So we kind of have like this heavy kick that you're hearing a lot of. I'll just generally you just hear a whole bunch of these, and that's one of the styles. Let's see if I can find the other style. I'm not sure. Kind of like that. Let's see if I can find. Here we go. This is it. How it almost sounds like it's pitching down, and then we're kind of back to the heavy ones. See if I can find another one. There's some ones that have it lightly, but it doesn't have like the whole heavy version of the pitch down. So kind of like that. Kind of like that sound. So those are the two main types. I'm not sure which one I'm going to use, but trance actually does alternate between the two of those. So you do kind of want to decide which one you actually want. The older style of trance tends to use the a very muffled kick sound, or this sort of pitched one a lot more often than newer trance does. But newer trance also uses it, just not quite as often. But it's all up to you which you like more, and which one do you think will fit the track better. Okay, so let's see. Now, one of the things I have to figure out here is don't be shy, baby, the key. So I could go in here. They did include some MIDI stuff, and I think I might just drop in the bass MIDI. And it's not going to play back for me nicely there. Let's try dropping this in and see if... Okay, so I think this here... Yeah, so it's probably in C# minor. That would be a shot in the dark, but it probably would be accurate. I think. I'm not entirely sure. We'd have to see. We could play it back. So it's just kind of like to get an idea of where I'm going. So, let's see. Let's see if I'm... Okay, here we go. So this is the idea I have for the bass line. And I'm just gonna, for now, I'll just actually cut it down to 1 bar and loop it. And then I'm gonna swap over. I have actually, oh, hold on, timeout. Sorry about that. I had to take a phone call. Okay, so anyway, back here. I wanted to mention that I am actually not going to be using ES2 for a lot of this. And the reason is because, unfortunately, I have not been able to get very good trance sounds from ES2. So that means this project is not like, I think I might still offer it for download once I finish it. But at the same time, it kind of means that if you don't have SynthMaster, which is what I'm going to be using, you're not going to be able to open the project because it requires the synthesizer in order to load it. So I apologize for this inconvenience, but at the same time, I do really think this is an awesome synthesizer, and it is probably the first synthesizer you should buy because it's like I've talked about it in my review before. If you want to check that out, I could probably throw a link in here somewhere for my review on SynthMaster and why I think it's so awesome. But anyway, suffice it to say, I'm going to be using this for a lot of the synthesizers in my track. Okay, so now what to do? So we have this pattern, which I've already forgotten how it sounds after the phone call. And I'm going to go through and let's actually filter this by basses, make things shorter. Okay, so here we go. We have a whole bunch of bass options and, oh, shoot, I actually just forgot. Before I go in and start picking through the basses, I need to do my typical setup for a track. Here we go. So do a 12 boost here and then turn that all the way down, and this needs to have gain, we'll cut down by negative, we'll just do negative 10 because it's already pretty darn cool. Actually, you know what, this might be fine. Baby, if you wanna be with me. Okay, I could probably actually turn that up later. Okay, anyway, so now back to the bass. This is what we have by way of the bass. Oh, it's actually an arpeggiated bass, I guess. There we go. Okay, so now we can actually cycle through the basses and kind of listen to some of them here. There we go. Okay, so this is the kind of bass I want to base this off of. Except I do want to change some things here. I want the filter to open up a lot more. Actually, I might be able to do this in the... Nope, they didn't have a quick thing for it. So I could actually take this filter. Layer 1, filter 1 cutoff is modulated by the envelope there, and I could just change the amount. So it gets a little more of the out there. And then, oh, that's why the tone on this. There we go. If I turn the tone all the way up, it doesn't sound low filter. Okay, now I can actually pull this up. Okay, so now what I might actually do is I might take this and do kind of bounce between two bass lines, but I'm gonna have to listen to the track as I start building it to fully determine that. So let's see. I'm gonna add a kick drum here, and then we'll kind of throw them underneath the vocals and see where what it sounds like. I'm gonna start from the bottom. What the heck? The great thing I love about this kick pack, if you haven't seen my sample video, check that out. It's a free kick pack, and it's got I don't know how many kicks. It's got like 500 there. Yeah, that's how it was. And I'll be honest with you, this pack is insane. You could just go anywhere and like just say, oh, today I'm going to be in this section. And then you just start going through and you can spend like 10 minutes looking through kicks and you won't hit the bottom. So anyway, little plug there. Ooh, actually I like that one. That was a nice shot in the dark. So I think we'll go with this one because right off the bat, that one sounds really good. And then I'm going to do my usual kick setup process. So this is a bit of the project setup. Kind of have to deal with that. I can't skip any of this because then it wouldn't be showing everything. So, okay. Nope, that doesn't go there. That goes there. Sweet. Now I need to grab all these and turn down the gain to negative 14. What the heck? And then I could go through and balance this in. As usual, don't worry about the clipping because that'll be remedied later when I actually go through to change some stuff. Now, it sounds really thin right now, and trance tracks are known for being very spacious and having a lot of depth. Don't worry, we'll get to that. This is kind of, like I said, the base of our bass line. So we're going to change things up. I might even actually switch this entirely and actually deliberately design a bass for this. It's just kind of for the purpose of being a place marker, so I could select these and kind of... So 4, 8, 9. So kind of be like this.
Don't be shy, baby. If you wanna be with me, so tell me you're in it.
Oh, this is already gonna sound great.
I wanna feel your...
Okay, so without doing too much this track now, simply because I've been around 15 minutes here, I think I might cut this. I'll go a little bit more. We'll go a little bit more before I cut this video. Because I think some of you guys actually like the long videos, and I don't know what the ratio is, who likes long videos, who likes short videos, so I know it's easier to watch short videos, but at the same time, I could get a lot more done in longer videos. I don't know, we'll see. Okay, so this is kind of what it sounds like. Here we go.
Don't be shy, baby. If you wanna...
Now, the question is, actually, I do not like... I need to edit this really quick. So go into events here, and these are at a value of 94. I don't like to work at 94 for my velocity for the notes. I typically like to work at 80 just because I like the color green. No, just kidding. There is no real reason behind why I do that except for the fact that then I could bring things, I have sufficient room to make notes louder or quieter. If you bring it up at 90, that's kind of close to the max. I don't remember what the max is. 127. So when you put it down at 80, it gives you a little bit more room to go up and down. So, but if you make it like 75, then it's almost halfway. So I just put it at 80 just cause. And then I need to delete this region so that I could get those notes too because I didn't check those ones. Okay, so now we have this, and I want to try this really quick.
Don't be shy, baby.
Okay, let's try this. So I'm going to create another bass here. This is the reason I said I'm basing it off of this one, because typically what I'll do is I'll listen to this like I have going, like I kind of showed you, and then that'll inspire me to get better things. So in this case, I'm actually going to look for a bass line that is better suited to this lower pitched note. So we'll go through this quickly, see if we can find something that sounds nice. So here we go. This one could actually sound really cool, but I think I've used this one in one of my other tracks, so it might stand out a bit too much.
Don't be shy, baby. If you wanna be with me.
I should make sure it loops the entire region. There we go.
Don't be shy, baby. If you wanna be with me, so tell me you're in this. I wanna feel your kiss. Don't be shy, baby. If you wanna be with me, so tell me you're in this.
I remember using this one before. I didn't actually put it in the final. Here we go.
Don't be be shy, baby. If you wanna be with me, so tell me you're in this.
Now, it might be worth actually throwing on... that's what I forgot to set up. Silly me. We are going to set up the side compression. So, bus 20, send it to bus 20. Remove the output so we don't get a double from the kick drum. And then I could actually do the sidechain compression here. Have fun with this. Turn on the threshold, turn off auto gain, pull that up to there. Knee is none, attack is pretty quick, and then turn up the ratio. There we go.
Don't be shy, baby. If you wanna be with me, so tell me you're in this. I wanna feel your kiss.
And then I need to do the sidechain here. So high pass, filter is on, and we'll put it there. There we go.
Don't be shy, baby. If you wanna be with me, so tell me you're in this. I wanna feel your kiss. Don't be shy, baby. If you wanna be with me, so tell me you're in this. I wanna feel your kiss. Don't be shy, baby. If you wanna be with me, so tell me you're in this. I wanna
Okay, and then I've got an idea here. Take this one, and actually I'm going to do a quick trick someone told me about. If you copy the compressor by doing that, and I'm holding Alt and then dragging this over, it actually copies the sidechain as well. That's kind of nice. Duplicating a track does not copy a sidechain, which is a bit of a bummer, and I think it's actually a bug in Logic now I see that this works. So just get that out of the way here. We could take this one, and I now actually have an idea of what to put underneath here. So.
tell me you're in this. I wanna feel your kiss.
Nope, I was looking for a much rougher one. Not doing too much talking here because I'm doing a lot of listening. Okay, so. I need a really rough one. Okay, so let's see. We'll use this one, but we'll go through the EQ and turn off the high, okay, the high pass, and then we'll do, see if we can EQ this a little. Using the, and then I could probably actually pitch this down now to make it even rougher. Sweet. Okay, so go with this.
Wanna be with me, so tell me you're in this. I wanna feel your kiss.
Take this, filter it up.
Baby, if you wanna be with me, so tell
And there's the foundation for our track. So I'm going to stop this video here, save the project, and essentially what we're going to be doing in the next one is adding a little bit of space to it. And this is the very fundamental, or key part, not necessarily fundamental, but it's a very key part of trance, getting a lot of space in there. So you kind of have to have that heavy bass that's just kind of punching along. Then you got the kick that's kicking you, and then you got this space that's just like gives you a nice drifting feeling. So that's going to be in the next video probably. And but until then, thank you for watching, and I'll see you in the next video.